All right, we live. Putting the link to join in the chat. Let's do this. Shadowbammed number 13. Lucky number 13. You dig. All right. Let's put the link in Twitter. I'd be really excited to not have anybody join today or even watch. Because, I can sit there and talk to myself. I'm an only child. Let me put the topics in the tweet. So people, at least if they want to join, they can know what we're talking about. Okay, yeah, let me do that. I'm not gonna wait that long this time. Because if somebody comes back and watches it, I don't want them to be like sitting there like, damn, when you gonna start? So I'm gonna just tweet this stuff out, and then I'm gonna get it cracking. Because somebody comes over, we can just go back anyway. You feel me? I wish I just copied and pasted this on. All right, whatever. It's too late. You know what? Screw all this. I'm just, you feel me? Fuck it. Like anybody goddamn gonna come in. All right. Let's get it cracking. Shadowbammed. We back. When was the last episode? What day was that? 3 days ago? Oh, that excuse me, that was Monday, right? I feel like it was, right? Let me look at this. Yeah, that was Monday. Okay. Damn, it ended up still being 3 minutes. But let's get it started. Shadowbammed, episode 13. Oh, we got a lot to talk about today. We got plenty to talk about. I wanted to start out with your boy, Jorge Vilda, over here, getting exposed for being a weirdo. Homie is a weirdo. I want to call him more than a weirdo. Holy shit, this is really funny. This bag right here, y'all can't see it and I'm not going to show it, but this is funny that this bag was left here and the things that are in it. I'm dead. What's the name? Jorge Vilda, who was the coach of the Spanish women's national team. He has been exposed by Jenni Hermoso, who's been through enough. She was the one that was forcibly kissed by homeboy Rubiales. I'm pretty sure Luis Rubiales. She was sexually assaulted. She was assaulted live. But she's come out and she's talking about how Jorge Vilda used to be treating the women on international duty. Now, off top, this fool's a weirdo. I'm going to tell you this first thing. And like, dog, you're weird. But I'm like, I feel like you're a creep, actually. Like, I don't want to like get it cracking like that early. I don't want to say that, but you're a creep. So Hermoso said, when we went to sleep, went on international duty, we had to leave the door open and wait for him to come by at night and let him talk to us. He said it was the only time he had to talk to us personally. Um, Between knocking on the first door of the first players and reaching the last one, maybe there were players who fell asleep. But it's like, okay, well, okay, I wonder if she's saying leave the door unlocked or open, because then she's saying knock on the door. Would he just knock on the open door and walk in? She said he treated us like children while some of us were almost his age. It was very complicated because he was very authoritarian to the point that he passed in the rooms at night to see if we were there at 11. So I'm thinking the door was open, to be honest with you. And I feel like that's a violation, dog. Like, what are we doing? These are adults. Like, I was like, when I was a kid, my mom, like, my parents would not allow me to. Was I able to close? You know what? No, I never closed my door when I was a kid. Did I? No, no. I lived in a house that was Alex, big homie, just started a new job. I've been missing them lately. Why work? Just quit. Scam people. But I'm just joking. I'm glad you're here. The homie Alex, big Real Madrid fan. Yeah, like I lived in a house where it was no closed doors in my house. That's what the parents said. I was a kid. These are adult people here. Alex, I wish, fuck work. You feel me? These are adult women here who are professional footballers, and you're telling them to leave the door open in their hotel room or leave it unlocked and he can just walk in. Like, what are we doing? Either way, like I feel like either way, like you're a creep. I'm sorry, you're a creep, because it doesn't sound like what she's saying is he wanted to leave the door, us to leave the door unlocked. Like, it doesn't sound like he was knocking and then waiting for them to answer and then coming in. It sounds like either he's like leave that the manual lock thing on the door so it's open on this floor where we're at, or he's like leave the door well, you can't leave a hotel door unlocked, for real, for real. Like, yeah, exactly. So here we go. He's telling them to leave the door open somehow so he can just walk in there. And like, why are you trying to talk to them late at night like that? Like, are you trying to see what's good? Or are you trying to like catch them doing something? It's creepy. I'm sorry. It's creepy. Now, it's obvious that homeboy is a creep because he did defend Rubiales assaulting Hermoso. And I'm pretty sure that's right here. Yeah, he publicly supported Rubiales after Rubiales did what he did, which we all saw. But he ended up being hired by Morocco. Are you surprised? No. Hermoso just recently signed with Tigres, or maybe she was already on them. Tigres in Mexico. But yeah, this is really a shame. I'm like, damn. This is really a shame because these players are out here getting. Well, I mean, this is the thing. What Hermoso was saying, like he was treating us like children, and that's pretty obvious there. Like, you got this creepy ass dude who's a weirdo walking in on grown ass women at night, and it's like, what are you trying, though? Like, you're trying it, and I'm sure, like as a coach, like on the pitch, like in training, I'm sure he was an asshole. Because honestly, like obviously, like he's a misogynist, like he's coming out defending Rubiales, like you're a misogynist, and it's really unfortunate that they would hire somebody like that. But I'm not surprised. Obviously, it is the world we live in. But also, I just really wish you'd see more women coaches in the women's game. And I'm also like, can we see some women coaches in the men's game? I'm gonna go off on a little bit of a tangent before we get into your boy Antony. football managers, coaches, they don't really do anything. They're barely doing anything. If you've coached 5 years professional women's like international or like international or club, the training that you do in there, you can do that with the men. But like as far as tactics, like that's very rare when it comes to coaching in football. There's no wizards out there. There's literally like one or two. And really, like I've always looked at Pep Guardiola's tactics. Like what I'm looking at is like I'm going off. I'm gonna stop in a second. To me, what it looks like the tactics are is make the pass. Just make it. Make the pass. Now, since he's gotten Erling Haaland, it's changed a bit. They play a little bit more traditionally now. But without Erling Haaland, without them having like a real center forward in the past years or so, tiki taka is just make the pass. Make the pass one touch. Don't overthink it. Make the pass. If this doesn't work, it's my fault. It's not yours. But like you're gonna train hard. You're gonna work on these things. We're gonna train in training to make the pass. That's, in my opinion, what tiki taka is. A lot of coaches are like, don't trust the players to do that. You know, the players aren't good enough to do that. So they're playing a more traditional, like, way of football. But when you watch football, like, everybody plays the same. So there's no reason why a woman can't coach men. And especially, and of course, why a woman can't coach women. Not to say that you're going to be perfect if you're coaching women and you're a woman. You can still be an asshole, but you're not going to be some creep weirdo like Jorge Vilda, and you would most likely not defend this assaulter Rubiales, who is an assaulter, and hopefully he never gets around football again. But it is Spain, and he probably will. But anyway. Speaking of more weirdo coaches, I feel like your boy Ten Hag has admitted that that Antony's a beater. I feel like he's admitted it. Now, is Antony a beater? His cases in Brazil, I think they're all in Brazil. But if they're in oh no, they're in Brazil and in the UK. Because they're in Brazil and the UK, I don't really care. I'm gonna be like, yes, he's a beater. You don't have 3 women coming out saying you're a beater if you're not a beater. And also, you're hella short. Like, yeah, you're like hella short and ugly. Antony, you're a beater. I don't have a problem saying that. You know, I wish this was a bigger platform and I'd just say it, but like, yeah, he's a beater. What are we talking about? But I do feel like Ten Hag has admitted it also. I guess they were talking about him, about Antony's form, which I don't even think you're allowed to talk about his form because like, when was he ever good? But Ten Hag said recently, when was this? Maybe it was today. Ten Hag said, well, I guess Antony has no goals or assists in his 21 appearances this season. Ten Hag said, I think his off-field issues stop him playing. They have had an impact. No, granted, let me just say this first. I'll be a little charitable. Ten Hag's English isn't perfect. It's not bad, but it's not perfect. So like it's a little fobby, you know what I mean? But we'll you know, but we'll give him a little bit of leeway on his English, but I do still think he's admitting it. So anyway, let me go back. Ten Hag says, I think his off-field issues stop him playing well. They have had an impact on him, definitely. So he has to deal with that. He caused them, so he has to sort them out. We will give him all the support, but he has to do better. Interesting. He has to deal with them. He caused them, he has to sort them out. You just admitted that he's a beater. Now, the shameful part is you're admitting that he's a beater. Like I could see Antony, like I'm sure him and Tinaga are homies. I could see Antony like in some bubbling snot cry fest being like, yeah, coach, I did it. Yeah, I was really mad. She made fun of I was having heels in my shoes to be 5'8", and she made fun of me, and so I hit her. It looks really bad. Literally, Alex, Antony's not good. You put the H in there, and I think the H stands for hoe. But I could see Antony telling Ten Hag, yeah, I did it. But the shameful part is like Ten Hag is still playing him. Now, Ten Hag, maybe he don't want to be a snitch. He's like, damn, if I don't play him, it looks like he's guilty, and I don't want to snitch on him. That's unfortunate, but it's not surprising. But I do think Ten Hag went out in the media and told on him because you're talking about he caused these he caused these issues. He has to sort them out. We'll give him all the support, but he has to do better. Has to do better on the pitch. He's not good. Like he's not good. Like it's not like we ever saw Antony playing him, but like we saw some potential there. That hasn't happened. I don't know what idiot thinks that like somebody performing like okay in the Eredivisie in the Dutch league is going to translate to EPL. I remember years ago, this was on BN years ago, Ruud Gullit was on there, and they were asking him, I forgot what player it was. They were talking about, was it Josie Altidore? Honestly, it was some player they were talking about who scored a good amount of goals in the Netherlands, like that season. Ruud Gullit, who is from there, said scoring goals in Eredivisie don't really count because there's no defense. He's like, we don't have no defenders. He's like, all the defenders are like 19 years old. He's like, they're not good. So like anybody can score goals there. Like a good goal haul in the Eredivisie doesn't mean like it's going to translate to other leagues for real. And I don't know how many goals Antony was scoring in the Netherlands, but let's look, because honestly I never looked at his stats. I'm just like, this guy just not good. Like, why do I waste my time? Let's see here. How many goals was this fool scoring in Ajax? He spent 3 seasons there. He scored 9 goals, 8 goals. His most goals was 12. Yeah, 8 goals in 23 matches, 9 goals in 32 matches. That's not bad. But it doesn't mean anything over there. It just doesn't, dude. He ended up scoring 8 goals all season last year in 44 matches. As a winger, like that's not terrible, but I'd want you at least to get like 9 assists or something like that, and he didn't. But aside from how he is as a player, he is a beater. He is the Chris Brown of EPL. Publicly anyway. I'm sure there's plenty of beaters over there, honestly. It's really a shame. Like I don't know. Like I feel like there's nowhere in the world where you can expect a man to get actually consequences for assaulting a woman, physically, sexually, or otherwise. Like, it's really hard here in America. It's hard in France. It's hard in the UK. They put Dani Alves in jail for a long time in Spain. I don't know why, for real, because I would imagine it's hard there too. But for some reason, Dani Alves was sitting in jail. I think he still might be. And I'm just like, are you just dumb? Or like, did you like do something really wild? Or was it to the wrong person? Like, or does Spain just have good laws like that? I don't know. I wouldn't think they do. But yeah, Ten Hag told on Antony. But he's still probably going to start him next match. So doesn't matter. No. Earlier this morning, and I probably will after I get off of here, I was watching a little bit of the first match of the AFC Asian Cup. It was whoa, bad lefty in the building. I don't know how you found me. Yeah, UK Greenwood. It's bad out here. I mean, Greenwood was like we saw it. Like we saw her injuries. We heard him, and yeah, nothing happened. We Benjamin Mendy. It's like yeah, dude. Like there's all this like. What do you think? It's all circumstance. Like, he did it, bro. Like, damn. But anyway, I was watching the Asian Cup. Bad lefty. I'm doing great out here in Southern California. Hopefully, you're doing great in Ireland. But let me just say, this is not a political show. I mean, I talk about some shit here and there, but I'm talking about football. I don't want to bore you if you're not into it, but just know I am a Celtic fan. I don't fuck with the Rangers. But yeah, I was watching the AFC Asian Cup. The first match was Lebanon versus Qatar. Qatar versus Lebanon. I think Qatar's hosting it. I had tweeted that anybody, I guess unless you're from there, I was kind of tweeting it to the black soccer people. Like, I'm saying? Sometimes you look at like Qatar, Saudi Arabia, I'm sure Bahrain too. They be having a lot of black players on their teams, but you don't ever go for the Khaliji teams. You don't go for Khalij. If it's Khalij versus the Sham, you go for the Shami team. Now, what is the Khalij? Khalij is like the Arabian Peninsula here. So Saudi Arabia, Yemen. Yemen. Sadly, they're not really present, but Saudi Arabia, Oman, UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait. That's the Khalij. It's amazing how many of these creeps get away with it if they're still getting it done on the pitch. Yeah, Mason Greenwood is playing at Getafe in Spain, and they have normalized him. He's just another player now. But yeah, so Khalij is Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, UAE, Oman. I mean, Yemen, I guess, is the Khalij, but I feel like Khalij kind of means like the rich countries. Like Oman is like barely in there either, but whatever. But the Sham countries is Lebanon, Syria. I mean, I guess Jordan. Is Jordan Sham? Is Jordan considered the Sham? It's kind of hard to say now because they got them Khaliji rulers. Like the King Hussein and them, they're like from like Saudi Arabia originally or something like that. I feel like. You know what? I'm gonna say Jordan is the Sham. I'm gonna say yeah. Yeah, you always got to go for the Shami countries over the Khaliji countries, even if the Khaliji countries got hella black people. That was more for the black soccer Twitter people. I'm Shadowbammed. They don't listen to me anyway. They're not reading the shit I say on Twitter. They probably would if I said something crazy, but yeah. I mean, I already have. That's why I don't fuck with me. But yeah, I was watching that match. I'm gonna hopefully be able to catch it after I get off of here. Also, AFCON starts tomorrow. If I'm not mistaken, they're playing it in Ivory Coast, which had a civil war cracking off about a decade ago, and now they're hosting AFCON, which is great. I already saw some ratchet, like some it was the Gambia. Some teams plane had to had to do an emergency landing. I'm like, really already? But AFCON is cool. I wish I have to send them clips from PR. Yeah, the bad lefty. Yeah, these guys don't fuck with me at all. The Yeah, AFCON is starting tomorrow. Hopefully, I can watch some of it. I wish I could watch BN on my laptop. Like it just doesn't work. Maybe I'll try to figure it out again. But we'll see. I'm gonna be honest with you. AFCON football is kind of wild, but I've seen some great matches in the AFCON. Not because like the football was great, but because like it went to penalties or something like that. But I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat it. Like the football in AFCON is rough generally. International football is typically like it's typically bad. Why? Because good football starts in the midfield. Like that's what makes the football good is like a midfield, like the midfield play. So international football, it's like hard to really like get that good. You don't really see great midfield play generally. I think like Morocco last World Cup, one of the things that made them look good was uh Unahi, the dude who went to ended up being at he was playing at Angers at that time, but now he's at Marseille. When I watched him, I was like, "Who's that guy? Like, who's that little skinny guy?" I think he was number 8. I'm like, "Who's that guy?" Like he stood out. Like a midfielder would stand out, and it's like, okay, that they're playing some good football because the midfield. But oh, AFCON, you get some really really bad midfield play. I remember 2018 World Cup. Senegal, oh my God. They were literally going just like, I don't know. It was like they were playing with 7 players. It was like going from the center back. It was like from Koulibaly to Sadio Mane. Like it was no midfield. Like, but if I can watch the matches, I will. I do want to check out the Asian Cup more. Like I haven't really ever watched it like that hard. But the big question is, I think they asked Samuel Eto'o recently. You're right, Bad Lefty. When they only join up a few times a year, they don't get those connections for sure. You've seen some teams in the past, like recent past, have like really good play when they like the international team plays well. What stands out for me was like 2015 Chile, 2016 Chile. They were incredible. Like when I was watching them play, it looked like Real Madrid. I'm like, they look amazing. But since then, like Morocco looked decent in the last World Cup. But generally, you're just kind of relying on individuals with an international play, and just like having somebody that can clear corners and shit and like free kicks. But um, yes, the big question they asked Samuel Eto'o if an African team can win the World Cup, and I'm sure he said yes. I read a little bit of the article. I can't really remember exactly what he said, but I'm sure he said yeah. Um, but I'm gonna expand it. Can an African or an Asian team win the World Cup? Now, Africa got hella teams, obviously. Who are the good teams? Morocco's decent, Algeria, Tunisia, Egypt sucks. Nigeria, Ivory Coast, Senegal. I mean, Nigeria's been having like a bit of a bad time these past few years, but they have good players. Ivory Coast, Ghana, good players. Senegal. Anybody in like Central DRC is like kind of decent. They be having some decent players. South Africa, not really. Like they be having a few good players, but like let's count them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's say I forgot somebody. I'll just say 10. Because Egypt really isn't good. But let's just count Egypt anyway. Yeah, Morocco was thugging. I wish I'd seen early 90s Ireland play. I did not. How's Nigeria lately? They've been pretty bad, honestly. Like I don't know why. Like they've been kind of rough. I feel like they even in the World Cup last time? I don't even remember Nigeria being in the World Cup in Qatar. Honestly, I remember 2018. they had a good chance. They lost to Argentina, but it was a bit fugazi. They didn't get a penalty called. But Nigeria's been having a bit of a bad time. But let's just say in Africa, there's 10 decent teams. In Asia, goddamn, it's a big continent. Iran is decent. Saudi Arabia is decent. Turkey is not that good, but like, whatever. I'm just gonna say the teams that are like they can you know what I mean. Iran, Saudi Arabia, Qatar. I'll put Qatar in there. Turkey, Armenia, no. Russia. Well, damn, is Russia gonna be able to play? Well, we'll see. Russia, Japan, South Korea. I mean, Australia. Am I going to say Australia? I'll throw Australia in there. They're okay. Any of these teams good? No. So let's see. Let's count them. Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Turkey, Russia, Iran. I'll throw China in there. They haven't been good recently, but I'll throw them in there. China, South Korea, Japan, Australia. That's 9. We'll just say 10. We'll say 10. Whatever. Yeah, Iran's decent. They have a good team. Japan's good too. So we're talking 20 teams in Africa and Asia. Can any of these teams win the World Cup in the next 20 years? I'm gonna be honest with you. Oh, you're right, Alex. Turkey. I'm tripping. Turkey's in UEFA. I'm tripping. Turkey ain't even in there. So it's really 9. We'll say 10. Yeah, Turkey is in UEFA. I always forget that. Honestly, I don't know why they're UEFA. It really is stupid. Why is Turkey in UEFA and why is Israel in UEFA? Make Israel play in the damn what's the name? AFC. Israel play in the AFC and Turkey play in the AFC. But honestly, I feel like if Turkey played in the AFC, they wouldn't even dominate, really, but whatever. In the next 3-4 World Cups, can any of these teams win the World Cup? I'm gonna be honest. No, they can't. None of those African teams can win the World Cup. I'm gonna be honest with you. They can't. Oh, Cameroon too. Cameroon's pretty good too. No, they can't. Can any of those Asian teams win the World Cup? I'm gonna say maybe Japan and maybe South Korea. Iran can't do it. I don't even think they would let Iran do it. Saudi Arabia, if the Saudi league keeps on going, because I would go for China, but their league just got destroyed by COVID. But if the world doesn't burn and Saudi league keeps on trying to build over these next 10, 15 years, Saudi Arabia would have a shot. But as of right now, how the teams look right now, I'm gonna say Japan and South Korea have a chance. But no team in Africa, no. Not Algeria. I would say, Bad Lefty, I agree. Israel shouldn't be allowed in any tournaments. I agree. But I'm not gonna say anything too crazy. It would be honestly I could see Algeria or Tunisia maybe, but Algeria maybe, Morocco maybe. I feel the Morocco thing was a bit of a every World Cup there's a team that kind of comes out of nowhere, because I don't even feel Morocco's gonna win AFCON. If Morocco wins AFCON, then we're talking about something, but I don't think they are. I think there was a little bit of flash in the pan that World Cup. Any team in Africa like have a chance? I'm gonna say like Algeria. Even if Algeria doesn't win AFCON, like that, like I feel like they have like good players. Like you're gonna have more players that are like French because Algeria players are French. You're gonna have more like Arab, like Algerian players in France who like see like, look, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna make it on the French national team. And also they might have like some pride in Algeria, unlike Mbappe, and say, you know what, no, I'm playing for Algeria. Now, Algeria does have some corruption issues when it comes to football. If they can fix that, like maybe more players will want to go play there, instead of trying to play for France. But it can't also just be players are, they're French Algerian and they play in the French youth national team up until they realize they're not going to make it on the actual national team. Then they go to Algeria. It's going to have to be like somebody who's like, oh, I'm going to go play at the Algerian under 17s, Algerian under 21s or whatever. Like they're going to have to start early and like really get acclimated to being there. And like, because they're French, like a lot of them don't know Arabic or whatever. I mean, the Algerian dialect. I've heard some Algerians speak Arabic before. I was like, what's going on? But that's how so many Irish players had English accents in the 90s when we were actually good. Yeah, they're playing in England. They're coming up in England, and then they're like choosing to play for Ireland. So some of these French players, like it's gonna have to change. Like they're gonna have to be like, I don't want to play for France. I want to play for Algeria, because obviously there's really good players. Like somebody like Nabil Fekir. Like if Nabil Fekir played for Algeria, like that's a good ass player back when his knees worked. But I'm gonna say the teams that have the chance are Algeria in Africa and Japan in Asia. Can I really see it happening though? Not really, because let's be honest, you're talking about going up against the Condom Bowl teams: Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, Colombia, Peru. Like these teams are good. You're talking about going up against European teams. I mean, even like Canada's kind of good now. You're talking about going up against Portugal and Spain and France and England and Italy, whatever. But like you're talking about going up against like really good teams that have like a really strong tradition and culture. So it's going to take a long time. I don't really see it happening. I'm not going to act like, just because I'm Black, the African teams can win the World Cup. No. I would love it. It'd be great. I remember going so hard for Senegal against France. What was that, 2006? I bought a Senegal jacket. I didn't even watch soccer back then. But I don't know. Like, it's going to be hard because when you watch them play football, it's just rough, dude. Like, you watch AFCON, it's rough. Like, it's not great football. Hopefully that changes, though. We'll see. But anyway, I've been on here way too long. Shadowbammed number 13. Will I be back tomorrow? I don't think so. Hopefully tomorrow hopefully I would be playing soccer. I don't know if it's going to get canceled. I should check and see if it got canceled just yet. Because I would like to be playing soccer tomorrow. That'd be fun. But yeah, if not, probably just come back on Monday instead of Sunday. There will be football on Sunday. Okay, we got 8 people so far. I think 10 is the minimum. We will see. But anyway, yeah, Shadowbammed number 13. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I would say put the notification for live joints so you can know when I go live. Or, the notification bell or something like that. But feel free to not do either because I'm shadow banned anyway. But yeah, have a nice day. We'll see you all soon. Alex, no. See, this is funny right now. You see these fans. You want to talk about the Spanish Super Cup because your team won. The Spanish Super Cup does not matter. And we're not going to make it matter just because your team won. Okay? We're not doing that. Because you're just like Caesar. Caesar doesn't want to believe in the Spanish Super Cup until Real Madrid wins something. You know? if Athletic won is like Super Cup don't matter, but Real Madrid, like, hey, that's another trophy. Like, no, dude, sorry, it's the Spanish Super Cup. They're literally playing in Saudi Arabia. Okay, it doesn't count. So no, we're not talking about that match. I did watch it. It was a nice, fun match, but it doesn't matter. And hopefully Barcelona wins the final, so y'all can just be like, oh, it doesn't matter for real, and y'all can clown the Super Cup. That'll be funny. That's funny, but I reckon Africa can claim the 200 Francis World Cups. You feel me? But yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go, and I will see you guys soon on Shadowbammed. Have a nice day.